Andrew McCart, iFLTV, delighted. I mean, I've seen you a few times, Alex, but this is the first time that we've done an interview in probably about 2-3 years, let's be honest.
Maybe, aye. Could be, aye. I think you were up the gym about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
I think. So.
Maybe I'm milking it a little bit here. You know what? I want to talk about Josh Taylor, huge fight, homecoming back in Glasgow, but for you, a personal thing happening on this fight night. Your son, who holds your namesake, Alex Arthur Jr, makes his professional debut with your old promoter, Frank Warren. I mean, Alex, you've been a fighter, you've done it all in the boxing game. How nervous, excited? What's your emotions that your son is finally making his professional debut?
Well, I don't know if I've actually got any emotional feelings like as of yet, but you know, the fact that he's made the decision to leave the Scotland team and become a professional boxer is solely his. It's really got nothing to do with me. Just as a father, I'm here to do what I'm supposed to do, and that's guide him, educate him, and go through the journey with him, I guess.
And obviously, you've seen Scottish boxing right now, and what you done. I done a podcast a couple of days ago, and people give me ranked your top 5 Scottish fighters, and I said Josh Taylor, Ken Buchanan, obviously Ricky Burns 3-weight, Alex Arthur, because Alex Arthur basically done it all by himself, and nobody coming in behind him really, flew the flag for so long. But now with your son, Alex, he's got a good crop of young fighters that can come here and they can build off each other. Lee McGregor's, Nathaniel Collins, Drew Lemons as well. So it's a fantastic time to be a Scottish boxer.
Fantastic. Like I've always said, success breeds success. And all these young guys that you've just mentioned, including Josh, who at this point in time is our kind of flag bearer. And of course you've got world-class fighters like Lee McGregor and Nathaniel Collins coming behind Josh. It gives the younger guys loads of encouragement to try and reach and attain those kind of levels, and to fight on their undercard as well. It's absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing platform for the likes of Alex Jr and Drew Lemond and you know all these lads that are coming through, to be on a stage like this in front of the world's media spotlight.
Definitely, and like I said to you, you done it all in boxing. How many titles have you won? You won the British. I think you done the traditional route, didn't you? The Commonwealth, British, European, and then World. So, I mean, becoming a world champion yourself was a good, well, obviously a personal level, but Alex Arthur Jr, with your namesake, sometimes we see fighters, maybe a Campbell Hatton might be a little bit evident as well, when they carry that namesake, there's more pressure on them as a fighter. Obviously, how is Alex Jr going to cope with that?
Well, he's his own man, really. You know, I never brought them up to walk in my footsteps, and as you probably well know, I didn't even want them to box. There's an interview with myself and Frank Warren and Alex after one of my title defences. And they asked me if my son's going to follow my footsteps. Alex right beside me, I think it's live on ITV, and Frank's beside me as well. And I said, I don't want my son to box. They won't box. But if they do decide to box, I'll let Frank look after them. And I kind of brush it off. And you know, we've laughed and joked about that, myself, Frank, and Alex. And look, lo and behold, now we're in this situation. So it is what it is. Aye.
Drew Lemond, obviously. We know how close you are to the Lemon family as well. Now, with Alex turning over, with Drew, we're going to have those two signed with Frank Warren. So how big can Scottish boxing be? Obviously, we've got Nathaniel Lee McGregor and Josh Taylor and all them guys. They're up there now, right? They've probably got 3, 4 years, 5 years of their career left, let's say. Yeah. But you've got young guys like Junior and Drew Lemon coming through. How big can Scottish boxing be with those huge names that carry in Scottish boxing, the Lemon and Arthur name? How big can Scottish boxing be in 10 years' time?
Well, it can be as big as they really want it to be, as they aspire to be. Obviously, Drew's brother Jake is also a very good fighter. You know, my other son Macklin is a top class young fighter as well. If I'm going to be brutally honest, probably the best I've seen coming up through the ranks. You know, some people would disagree with me on that front, but young Macklin's certainly probably the best young fighter I've seen come through for a very young age to where he is now. But then we've got other fantastic young fighters in the country as well. And, you know, Luke Bibby is coming through. He's building a fantastic following. You know, he's building a great little record now. He's fighting regularly the way it should be. And both in Glasgow and in Edinburgh, we seem to have just a young crop of lads coming through. Rhys Lynch is yet to make his pro debut, brilliant young fighter. Sam Hickey's a couple of fights in now. So, you know, we've got a massive depth of talent. You can go on all day, but Scottish boxing looks pretty safe to me.
Definitely, and I'm glad you said that because, I mean, we're the same age. You're a little bit older than me, Alex, but we're the same age, and it's good to see because, like I say, when I was growing up, watching you and coming in behind you with the Loch End gym and all that, it was just you. That's what we had to look forward to, was just Alex Arthur coming to town. But now, like you said, you've mentioned a good crop of names there. Now, I do want to talk, since your son's making his debut, and son's following in the father's footsteps, I'm going to get your thoughts on the Chris Eubnak Jr. and Conor Benn fight. Talk to me about the whole egg slap thing. Talk to me about that fight in itself. And as a fan growing up watching their dads and now their son's fighting, how excited are you with this one?
I think it's fantastic, really. I mean, it might be a wee bit, it's different from the fathers because they were the same weight. They were on a massive collision course. Both these lads have kind of been guided in towards each other. They're different weight classes in reality. Conor Benn, for me, is a welterweight. He's a 147-pound fighter. Chris Eubank is a 168-pound fighter. For me, he's a big lad. When you see him in real life, I'm always quite surprised how big he actually is. And for him to come down a weight and Conor to go up a weight, you know, it takes away, for me, the element of what their fathers had. But it doesn't take away the excitement for the public and for the boxing fans. They're both fantastic young fighters. Conor might be maybe a bit fresher than Chris. Chris is a wee bit older. He's had a lot harder fights, but he's got more experience. So I find the whole thing quite fascinating. The egg slap thing it wasn't a gimmick. It wasn't a joke because he'd done it with enough force. It looked like he was trying to hurt him for me. So yeah, it was one of the things that were that's created massive hysteria and a lot of hype as well throughout the country. And I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think Chris Eubank should be too big and too experienced, but you never know.
One final one on your son, Alex Arthur, making his professional journey. We've got the press conference starting with Frank Warren, your promoter. One final word?
Just let's go Scotland, all the best to all the lads, and I'm excited for what the future holds for Scottish boxing.
Alex, as always, thank you so much, my man. And listen, I'm going to pop down the gym with Fred. Going to get some sparring in. Let's do it. Thanks, Alex. Thank you, mate.